So welcome everyone, and let's just see what is revealed to us for this short reading for this December news post 2023. First of all, I look first for the piece of coral here, which is forked. So it represents you making the inquiry, or we making an inquiry, and our arms stretched out into the spread. It's interesting here we've got blueprint, which is, seems to be the theme actually for both the new and full moon in December, because so much of it is about, whatever, recognizing the blueprint that we came in with, and it's facing down, which tells us that it's an internal process. It's something happening deep inside of us, not just outside, or that what is happening inside is being reflected outside. And the piece itself, the inquiry about the full moon and the new moon, is saying, blessings on the house space that we're in. We've got several planets here: Saturn, Neptune, the Venus and the moon. And we have this piece that represents transfiguration running right alongside of that configuration here of these coins. So that is pretty interesting, looking at structures, things kind of being in a fog at times, but underlying that is this idea of truth, love, beauty, finances, abundance, and of course, our emotions. It's all kind of what's happening emotionally. And then this is absolutely fascinating. I've not seen this before. We have the lock and key. The lock, of course, representing what is either hidden, out of reach. And if you hear a little squeak, that's Loki the cat blessing us with his presence. But the lock, here us saying, it's time to receive, but that's kind of what's been not so accessible for us. Maybe for many of us, if you're caregivers, your tendency is to give and not to receive, and now it's time to receive. And the key to that is really look at that which is not yet created. Something coming out of the old, out of the structure that has been, out of the past. And there's nothing wrong with structure. It gives us guidance. But the key here is to be, I would say, in the present moment, right? Be expressing yourself, throat chakra. And, this was all hidden by our blueprint. It's just kind of telling us that what's underlying that is this idea we've got buffalo tooth and eagle condor perched right on top of transfiguration. So this transformation that's happening for us is important, number one, to be taking time for inner reflection, to really have clarity and see what's going on, so that we can separate ourselves from the mental chatter, and which would also, on greater terms, refer to like our spiritual, the blueprint, the conditioning, the patterning that we all inherited when we came in to this lifetime. We chose to be a soul in this lifetime, having a human experience. So there's this transformation, I would say, is really happening around home, which I think is really representing, and here we go, it's reflected right here at the very center, is our hearts and our true family, the star, our star nation, the star that we are, and know that truly we are, in reality, we are just a frequency. We are vibrational frequency that has manifested into solid form. Yeah, and here, that's exactly what this is saying. Here's the physical form manifest from frequency. And we've got an ancestor here, the ancient ones, the maternal ancient ones, that they're really being amplified right now. And this idea of kind of, of dropping the suffering, dropping the idea and the pattern, the conditioning of everything has to be about suffering or revolve around drama and trauma. And I think some of the greatest healing that many of us are feeling, if we look at our ancestral lineage, we've got the great ones, grandmother, grandfather, and let's see, yeah, and father underneath it all. So here it's like the masculine, it's, the feminine is here, the grandmothers really supporting this kind of more angelic awareness of who we truly are, right? That we are divine beings. That we can merge with those aspects of ourselves, the oversoul and the soul. And the coin that's underlying that is all about abundance, true abundance, not just finances. And we know that we are definitely being hit by the solar activity that's happening. We're going through the photon belt. So the frequency of light of who we are is coming forth as the shadow is burning away. So horse is moving inward toward the center. It's saying, really recognize, really embody the star that you are, and reclaim the cosmic lineage, from where we came, from who we truly are. And something beautiful here is that we're surrounded, like I said, by many planets. We've got Pluto. We know we're in a Pluto return, but we've got the wish token, which is really wonderful. Wish token. So just make a wish upon a star here. I hope that you do that this month of December. And it was interesting that the moon was right here. So we're looking at new and full moon cycles, and it was underneath the inquiry and surrounded again by that lock and key. So that was fascinating. Yeah, lots of movement. We've got the 5 here, kind of spinning, keeping things moving during this time of rebirth. And the emotions, I think you're going to find, of course, with this, when the full moon, we're in a full moon, the end of the full moon now, the cycle. And when we come into the next one, there's something going to be even more amplified, definitely around second chakra. So just be aware of that. The color orange, the second chakra, that space or place within us that is the essence of creative power. And it's all about too creating new work for ourselves in the world, the true work, the soul's work that we came in. This is all about our work, this little bone tip of elk antler, and it's resting right alongside of grandfather, your paternal grandfather. So again, that beautiful masculine energy going through rebirth, transfiguration, transformation, heading toward that transformation that is all about transfiguring. And again, that central point, that couldn't be clearer. It's like such incredible alignment. Align, even, it's like as if the center point is you in the physical form. The expanded state is the ancestry that we came from, especially the divine feminine. She is here really heralding in this idea of frequency shifts within and without, claiming your identity to be the star that you are, a part of a greater nation, a star nation, a cosmic family. And let yourself be guided by the heart, right? Whatever you feel love and passion for, that it will be the most important. There's a lot going on though around this diamond and in this square. We've got the shaman, we've got the timekeepers are close by, but they're both facing up. So that's interesting. So time will appear to be moving very quickly, and a lot will be processing, and you may not have time to integrate it all, but just let it flow. It's all about just letting it flow, letting it go, knowing that to this place within your home, a lot of things happening in home arena, but what's important with that is to speak your truth. This is the sword of truth. So speak your truth, right? Yeah. Oh, I said Pluto, but this is actually Mercury here. So again, speaking, communications, uh, just be aware. I think I remember Pam Gregory mentioning that with things moving so quickly, many of us will have this tendency to want to act really quickly. And what we need to do, even though I see horses right here, the key is to stop, to pause before you speak, maybe, especially if you feel triggered this next month about something. This is, this deer toe is all about stay in, take a breath, tap into your own inner creative force. And deer invites us to be in a state of innocence. So that awe and wonder, what if we didn't know an answer? What if there wasn't an answer yet? And we just need to be present. We just need to sit in our power, the power of creativity, right? The power to create versus the power to consume. I think it was Archangel Michael says that often. There's somebody named Robert Thies here in Oregon, in the Eugene area, who's been channeling Archangel Michael for like, I don't know, 30 years. And Michael loves to share this idea of this is when the world will shift. When we truly see a shift, it'll be when we are no longer about consuming, but about creating what is new. And this is really what Horse is heralding in here. He's like, keep your eye on the prize and come to center around that. And everything is lining up around it, right? We've got Jupiter really amplifying that idea. Really support and surround yourself with community. Here we have some ancient masculine energy, the ancient men on your father's side, the paternal ancient ones. They're really here supporting us in this idea of reflect on the past so that we can move forward into this transfiguration. It's huge, right? We know it's multiple years, probably the next couple of years, a process of that. Swinging back around, I don't know if you can see this, just where I'm pointing here, the top. We've got Mars, so that's that Mars energy that's really activating everything and making us want to move forward quickly. But I think we're going to have to honor that idea of, one step at a time, because here's the divine feminine, and on its side we have this abalone cross, which is all about, waiting for the downloads that are coming in from the higher mind, the Akash, the superconscious, the Aka field. That's what we need. That's the information, not just a bunch of AI mumbo jumbo, so that you can write a better paper. That's just throwing information around in different directions, but it's not the information that we really need to move forward. Look at it more in a divine way, that this Mars energy is tempered by the feminine, because truly what's in the bigger picture is, this is on the outer ring, which you can't see in the recording, but it's the heart, this Celtic knot, right? The divine union with the self. It's about finding a union with your higher self, with your own oversoul or ascended master that you may have working with you, who is a part of you, maybe a soul group, something like that, but it's definitely, a partnership, a commitment to the truth, a commitment to taking action in a feminine way, which would mean going within, right? Being in touch with your feelings, taking time for introspection, that kind of action. That's the kind of action that's being called for, so that we see clearly through this third eye that's wide open here between the greats and the grandmother on your father's side, your paternal grandmother, and the greats and the great great greats, right? Grandmother, grandfather, they're here surrounding us, and your father is right here under the angelic realms and under this idea of it's time for soul retrieval. And you can do that in a formal way by having a shamanic soul retrieval session with somebody. But you can also do that yourself, again, by working with guides, angels, teachers, whoever is supporting you and protecting. You're working with around your own protection, so that what is yours, and what is theirs. And you can reclaim those aspects of yourself, right? So I wanted to make this really as short as I could, so it would be digestible. So I'm just staying within this main diamond area here for this reading for the news post in 2023. And then, of course, I just want to point out too that in the greater circle, which you might not be able to see in the recording, here we go, is again, what's really outside being the greater container is vision. Just really being in touch with your vision, or translating the vision maybe in a different way, maybe revising the vision, revisioning. It might be time to revision what you once thought was your truth and now is changing, because so much in the world is changing. But that is the condensed version of a reading for the December news post, which is encompassing just the new and the full moon energies together as a whole. And then on my YouTube page, separately, I'll go more in depth into each one individually. So I hope you can join me there. And for that, just Desiree DeMars, YouTube. And for this, I'm going to scooch this down a little bit. For this reading, for the news post, I just want to give you, it's like the appetizer. So just a little taste of what's to come for December new and full moons. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Aho.